this Friday, we had the Fanbase Investor Holiday Dinner
Woo-woo.
right here in Atlanta, Georgia at the Fanbase headquarters. For those that don't know, anybody that invested over $10,000 in any of the 4 rounds that Fanbase had were invited to Atlanta to this dinner, this holiday dinner that we had, which was really phenomenal and exciting. I was happy to be able to meet some of our super users and most passionate investors. I was also surprised at some people that didn't make the trip because they were on my live when we were at the dinner with a gold check mark. So anybody that invests over that amount gets a gold verification badge too, right?
Yep.
And certain people get a gold verification badge and get invited to the dinner. I'm like, you have a gold verification badge. You're supposed to be here. And it's like, oh yeah, I couldn't make it. I'm like, but shout out to every diamond level investor that came through. I thought it was very, very touching and very, very impactful because I didn't realize like how far some of these people actually travel.
Yeah, we have folks from Virginia, Alaska, San Francisco.
Alaska.
Yeah.
Alaska.
We had someone come from Alaska to Atlanta, Georgia to have dinner with us. We had someone come from San Francisco.
Yeah. We had New York represent.
We had Virginia. We had Mississippi. We had Alabama. We had Chicago. We had Detroit. We had St. Louis. I was like, wow. So it was incredible. And they were all Black people. Yeah. And they were all Black people that came and said, really, I've never really invested in anything.
Yeah.
Like I've never really, decided to put my money into something. And what it always reminds me is the importance of the responsibility that I have as the founder and CEO to do what I need to do to make sure that this company is successful.
I gotta ask you a question, man. What singular emotion went through your head when you saw the crowd of people who showed up?
I'm not a crier, but I was definitely emotional. I had a moment because again, it's like, these people trust and believe in you. I was actually telling one of my friends, I don't know how people take money from people and do the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Like that part, I don't understand. I don't understand that. To me, it's the mission to do my absolute most and best to give a return on the investment to the people that have invested. And I think that brings it brings it all together and makes it crystal clear. Of course, we're always thinking about creators first at the company. So that keeps us in line anyway, right? But the fact that people have invested in there was a room full of all Black people. Like, yeah, everybody in that room was Black. And they have ownership in a tech startup. And that part is incredible because these companies are so valuable and powerful. And I'm like, this is what it's all about. This is what that moment is about.
What struck me, I talked to a few of the investors. What struck me was, when you're investing in something, you look for a return. And of course there is, you'll have that return. But these people they believed in the mission of Fanbase. They believed in the growth of Fanbase. They feel like it belongs to them, and it does. But they really feel like, oh, this is we get to be a part of something special at the ground level where nobody is. You could feel that it was a feeling of, wow, I'm here, and we're on the cusp of something that is going to be monumental. And I got that feeling in the room with the investors and talking to them.
I definitely got that too. We had the opportunity to show them the office, the tangible things that they were able to see that their investment went into outside of even the app, and just the wonder on some folks' faces as they were coming in. They saw the podcast space, all the office spaces we work out of. It was really a special moment to see for sure.
We'll do this again. I want to continue to do these dinners just because they're a way to build community and kind of like let everybody know firsthand what's going on, how we're keeping up with the growth of the company, and just continue to, support and be a part of what we're doing. I also, the one thing that I really enjoyed was I was able to tell the story about how we got there, involving everybody. So if those don't know, I brought the entire team up that was here in Atlanta, and actually to see the tree of people that were connected that introduced me to people like Justin and Jewel and Barry, who taught me about tech, and then Drew Jackson, who's been my attorney in entertainment for 20 plus years, who introduced me to Ramiro, who is our CTO, and then Alvin and Ty, who are advisors, who I brought on this year, that brought us Micah and Quincy, and so all these things. And AJ is the person that brought Alvin and Ty. So it's a community of people helping. And then the gathering spot brought, me with Justin and Drew and Barry. So, community is what this is all about. It was really amazing to see that this connected tissue of people that have become part of this great company that we're building.
So I have to ask, what would you want to say to anybody who did come that you didn't get to say on Friday?
Thank you for believing in me and believing in us. Like, I don't take your investment lightly. This isn't anything that I play around with. Like, I'm here. People joke that I'm actually at the office 7 days a week, which is actually the truth. But we were here yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, we were here. We're here today. We're always working, and that keeps my drive. But I love what I do, so it's not a job, but it gives me an extra bit of gasoline to know that all these people that came to Atlanta were good, and the food was great. We got to eat really good. We got to talk. I got to go around and actually, talk to every investor that was there, and thank them. We had conversations about the app and things that they were interested in, learning about microdramas, learning about a lot of stuff, the algorithm, a lot of things that we were doing. I love the fact we got to introduce him to Quincy, who's helped train the algorithm, because algorithms can have bias against Black people. There's a Black man that's training an algorithm to make sure that doesn't happen with Black culture and Black people. It was great.
And he was killing it at such a young age.
Oh yeah, because you're no longer the baby.
I'm no longer.
That's right. Noah used to be the youngest when we first started, and I gave a message. This is an important message to people, and I said this to people in the room, and I'll say this to everybody. So Noah was working with me before Fanbase existed, and the reason that I wanted to bring Noah along to work at Fanbase is because he showed up every day, and that's the type of energy that doesn't necessarily exist in today's culture. I think a lot of the younger generation look at jobs as like it's a 9 to 5, and at 5 or 6 I'm gone, and I'm not thinking about this for the rest of the day to tomorrow. And that's not how you really get ahead. Showing up is really a big part, and I recognize that about Noah.
Thank you, man.
Even Solomon, who we mentioned, the late Solomon, who you guys would show up, and that is so important. Just about being part of a team and building. Like, apps don't sleep. And so you're not going to build a successful startup if you clock out at 6 o'clock and then think that that's it. Or the weekends is like, things don't happen on the weekend. We were here, on the weekend, and that's just how it works. So Noah is he's no longer the baby, but he was probably 21 when we first started. And now you're grown now. So,
I'm a grown man with a beard.
yeah, somewhat. 20% of the beard down here.
Hey, we don't have to get into statistics.
Yeah.
But what's the saying, right? If you love what you do, you never work a day in your life.
Absolutely.
So